Hello and welcome to our cooking class this evening. Today we're doing meals in a flash because one of the main reasons people invest in a Thermomix is to save time. And there are other reasons too, like a lot of people like the health side and the variety of dishes and the saving money and the energy like efficiency, all so many reasons, but saving time really is a huge one. So we wanted to share some of our favorite quick dishes. And while we're going, we will also share different hints and tips along the way. And if you could just stay on mute while Linda and I are presenting, I'll introduce you to Linda in a second. At the very end, I'll end the recording and give you guys all a chance to come off mute if you want to ask any other questions. But in the meantime, if you have questions, just pop them in the chat and we'll be able to answer those questions there. I am also recording, so if you miss something, you'll be able to catch up tomorrow, and I'll send an email with all the recipe links that we show tonight. So hopefully everyone gets all the information they want to get cooking in their Thermomix. So just to start, I'm going to introduce you to Linda. She's a fabulous consultant, like way better cook than I am, knows her way around a kitchen. So here she is. Thank you.
Thanks, Laura. Okay, so when Laura asked me to help out with this class, I didn't really want to go shopping, so I just searched my fridge, searched my pantry, and I've come up with two quick and easy meals. So the first one I'm going to do, fennel is in season at the moment, so I had a fennel bowl, and I'm going to make a really quick chopped salad. So I'm actually going to do this manually because it is so quick. It'll take me longer to go through it guided, so I'm literally going to put everything in there. So we've got one fennel bulb going in. We've got some green apple going in. We've got 2 sprigs of parsley going in and 100 grams of cucumber going in as well. For the dressing, it's some oil and some salt, peppers going in, and 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegars going in. If you didn't have apple cider, you can substitute for whatever acid you like. Lemon works well with the fennel as well. So let's start cooking. Okay, I'm going to pop all that in. Okay, so we're going to pop our dressing in as well. That's going in. And with this one here, we actually use the spatula as we chop it, just to make sure that all those ingredients hit the blade and get chopped nicely. So the first lot is 6 seconds on speed 4. So 6 seconds, speed 4. And when it is a quick salad, I generally do put the time in, only because sometimes I can get a bit sidetracked and then you end up with a mushy salad or a juice at the least. So you can see what 6 seconds has done with that. Now, to me, that looks pretty good. I'll go just another 2 seconds on speed 4 just to make sure that it's all incorporated and blended. The dressing has gone through the whole salad. So we'll just go another 2 seconds on speed 4. And that's it. So I'll serve it back up in my dish. A really nice, fresh, light. If you didn't have apple, you can actually substitute it with pear as well. And there's chopped salad. So to me, this is just as good as the beetroot salad, quick and easy. A bit of green in there and light and fresh. Goes well with meat, goes well with chicken, and even seafood. Fennel's got a really nice flavour as well. And there's your chopped salad. So that's in a flash if you consider that a quick meal. Okay. Did you want me to go on to the next one, Laura?
Sorry, coming off mute. Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
That was amazing. Okay. Super fast salad. Love salads in the Thermomix. Thank you for sharing that one.
No worries. Has anyone made that before? Anyone online? No?
I have years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really lovely. And it keeps, well, even though the dressing's gone in there, because it's not a heavy saturated dressing in there, that'll stay really crisp even tomorrow. I'll pop that into one of the kids' lunch boxes, I should say. Okay, so the next thing I'm doing is a speedy baked beans. Does anyone here still buy baked beans? Oh, few greens sometimes. Okay, this is so easy. All you need is a few simple ingredients. What's going into this is ripe tomatoes. I wish they were a little bit riper, but they're going to work for this recipe. So we're going to add 500 grams of ripe tomatoes in. Next, we've got a teaspoon of paprika going in. We've got some dried thyme going in, some maple syrup's going to go in. I've got my salt and pepper in there as well. And I've actually added a bit of cayenne pepper because we like things a little bit spicy and hot over here. You can actually put curry powder in it as well. So you can really spice it up to your liking. We're adding 30 grams of pure maple syrup. Okay, 39's gone in. That's all good. Bit of sweetness never hurt anyone. Next, we've got the salt's gone in and all the pepper and the salt. We're going to place the cooling basket instead of the mixing bowl on the mixing measuring cup on the lid. And we're going to cook this now for 10 minutes at 120 degrees on speed 2. And that's it. And if you wanted to add a bit of chorizo in there, you could actually throw that in as well, and that would bring out some really nice flavour to your baked beans as well, or some ham as well. Spice it up, change it up, and do whatever makes your family happy.
Amazing. Yeah, that is very easy. Almost as easy as opening the can, right?
That's it.
Thanks, Linda. We'll come back to Linda in about 10 minutes. So while that's cooking, I wanted to show you, here's one I've made earlier because this recipe has cooking time in it. And so since we're on Zoom, I can cut it out and show you a quick video that goes for 10 minutes showing you this really super quick, easy dish we do all the time when I'm in a hurry. So I wanted to share it with you because I think it's great. So here it is. Hello, I wanted to show you this really fast recipe. It's a family favorite. We love the flavor of it. It's fast. It's easy to tweak if you don't have certain ingredients. It's kid friendly. It's just great. So if we just swipe over to the cookie dough screen, I can start typing it in. It's called creamy chicken sun-dried tomato pasta, I think. Something like that. And when I'm backwards, I don't always know how to type. Let's see if it'll come up. Okay, it's the first one. Creamy chicken sun-dried tomato pasta. So when you've come into a recipe on Cookie Doo, you can scroll down to see the ingredients and the steps. There's also a nutrition guide and some hints and tips, or you can just press start and get going. So the first thing is asking us to add in some onions, and I've just cut them in half, and some garlic. It says 2, but I've got 3. I have a lot of garlic at the moment, so that's all good. Extra flavor. We also want a bunch of herbs. So it says to use parsley and basil. I'm also putting in some oregano because my oregano bush is thriving and my basil plant is like dwindling. So I'm kind of making up for that with that. Chili is optional. Well, everything's optional, but I'm putting in a very small de-seeded chili because if the seeds are in there, my 11-year-old daughter will not be happy to eat this pasta. And some sun-dried tomatoes going in as well. And then some butter. So all that together is the first step of this recipe. So you can see how good these flavors are going to be in this pasta. So putting in our lid and chopping it all on 2 seconds, 5 seconds. Do our chop dance. While the Thermomix is working for you, you've got to do something. And it's just telling me to scrape down, but you can see how well it's chopped everything in there. And now it's going to cook for 3 minutes to saute all those flavors together. And so during that time, I can chop my chicken. But because it's going over 95 degrees, it's asking me to put my simmer basket on top. And we'll just press go on there. So I'll just show you how you can multitask on the Thermomix. If you come to these 3 dots up here, you can press recipe detail and scroll down to see the whole recipe. So I can see I need to get my chicken, cream, water and wine ready and my stock base. Or if you're in the recipe, you can press preview to see the next step and just keep pressing preview to see the next few. Press the bookmark when you're ready to go back to what you're up to. But I will pause the recording and while that cooks and while I chop chicken. Okay, so that is just finishing and we're ready for the next step. So you can see it's been sauteing in there, and it's asking us to add our chicken. Now the recipe does say to use breast, and I'm using thigh because that's just our favorite kind of chicken. We prefer the texture of thigh, but you can absolutely use the breast as the recipe says. Okay, adding in some cream, and you can use coconut cream. I've done that once before when I didn't have cream, and I was happy to try a substitute, which I might need to do now because I've only got 200 grams of cream and it's asking me for 50 grams. So, okay, I need to go get 50 grams of cream. Okay, so I have this container in the fridge of leftover coconut cream, so we'll see if it's going to be enough. It's extra thick. It was like this thick coconut cream thing I had going. Oh, that's a bit more, but I'm just going to use it all because I don't want to waste it. The other thing, might sound a bit weird, but I have used sour cream in the past when I was out of cream. So you can just use whatever. And we want some water. So obviously this is making the sauce for our pasta. And what I love about this is that we make the sauce in here and then we add the dry pasta in so it cooks while it cooks in the sauce. So it's a one pot pasta, and that's what makes this such a great quick chuck on kind of midweek meal for when you're in a hurry. And some wine, optional if you don't like to cook with wine, you could add some more water and stock paste or apple juice or whatever. I just use the really cheap Aldi wine because that's just what I buy. I think it's like $3 a bottle or something like that. And this chicken stock paste. So for those who haven't tried our chicken stock paste before that you can make in your Thermomix, I recommend giving it a go. It makes about this much, and you keep it in your freezer, and it's scoopable because of all the salt in it. It scoops really easily out of the tub, like ice cream, softer than ice cream even. So yeah, I try to have the veggie stock paste and the chicken stock paste in the freezer because the flavors are actually very different. If you don't have this, use your veggie stock paste or use the store-bought. Whatever you've got is going to work. And I think that's everything. So now we put our simmer basket back on, and this is going to cook for 10 minutes. So you can go do whatever else you need to do in the house while this cooks for you. And that's the beauty of some of these Thermomix meals where it's a set and forget. It will call to you when it's ready for you to come do the next step. Okay, the sauce has been heating up, and now this step is very easy. All we're going to be doing is adding the pasta. So I'll just take the lid off. Yeah, saying just to add the pasta. So I am doing a bit more than the recipe says because I find this to be very saucy. So it says 250, I'm doing 300 just to bulk it up a little bit. That's just a personal preference. I think the first time you make something, you should probably stick to the recipe. I just happen to know a very saucy pasta, which we do also like, but we're a family of 6, so I try to bulk things up where I can. And that's it. So the lid goes back on, basket back on, and we cook. It says 7 minutes, but with a note to prolong. I always prolong. I don't know what pasta is going to be cooked in only 7 minutes. I guess mainly if you had macaroni maybe, but so I'm turning this up to 10. And yeah, I'll show you the end result after this. We've got 10 more minutes to go do whatever you need to do around your house. Okay, so this is almost done, just a few more seconds, but one thing I have got ready is my round 2.6 litre thermo server, and I like to, this is not in the recipe, but I like to put some baby spinach in just to add some veggies, even though you're probably going to serve this pasta with a salad or something, but any chance you can add some spinach in is good in my books. It wilts down anyway. So yeah, so that's the end of the recipe, and I'll just show you the results. So you can see how saucy it is. So you can see why I like to add a bit of extra pasta. I'm just pouring it in. Sorry, just making sure I get it all. And that's it. So now I'll just give it a bit of a stir. But yeah, you can see, I don't know, I just stir to put the spinach through it. But yeah, one pot pasta. It's probably only taken about 5, maybe up to 10 minutes of my own personal time. The rest of the time is the Thermomix in action. So yeah, that's why it's a favorite here, but also the flavor is really good. And you can use any pasta. I've used, oh, I can show you. Probably can't show you now. It's gonna, but yeah, you can see I've used the bow tie pasta. But penne is what I normally use. It just depends what I have. And so here we go. And here's a picture of the penne done just as per the recipe. You can see how saucy it is, and that's why I've added extra this time. Okay, so yeah, really quick one pot pasta. There are other one pot pastas in cookie dough. Another favorite is the creamy tomato salami fettuccine, or whatever it's called. So look that one up as well. So Linda must be ready and waiting for us, so I'll just go back to her.
Okay, I am. So the tomatoes have cooked down. You've got this beautiful rich sauce that I'm going to now add my cannellini beans to, and a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I don't even bother dirtying a tablespoon, but if you want to get pedantic, really easy to hit your little 3 dots, go to your scales and add 20 grams. Oops. I'm just knocking my cord here. That's my fault. So a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce has gone in. We've got 2 cans of cannellini beans that have gone in. So they're going in. Next, we're going to put the simmering basket back on. And we've got 3 minutes just to heat those through, and they're going to be heated through on reverse so we don't mash up those cannellini beans, and they will be ready to enjoy. So just stir on reverse, and we've got our cannellini beans stirring. So at this point, if you wanted to, you could go get some beautiful sourdough bread and start toasting that, ready to pop your freshly cooked baked beans on.
Cool, thanks, Linda. So while that's cooking for 3 minutes, I do want to show you, I'm trying to find, I would like to show you a few other things to help make life quicker, if I can find my share screen, which is using cookie dough to your advantage. So if you are being organized, you will save so much more time. So, and another thing you can do in cookie dough is just type in like the word quick or easy or fast or whatever, and you can use your filters to say, you know, I just want it to be, let's look at all the quick main dishes. If it's dinner time, if we're talking about meals, or if you wanted it to be breakfast or lunch, whatever. But just by typing in the word quick and using those filters, it's given us a whole heap of recipes that our recipe developers have classified as being quick dinners. So these are really good ones to have a look through for those midweek meals when you are in a hurry. And the other thing you can do is, if you're in a recipe and you know that that's the type of recipe you like, if you scroll to the bottom, each of our recipes have tags, and they have a collection that they're in, so you can kind of see, oh, I like that recipe, so maybe I'll like other recipes in that same collection. Or cookie dough algorithms tell you other similar recipes, which is also handy. So if you think risotto is like the ultimate fast dinner, and I didn't want to show you one tonight on the class because I feel like everyone knows how to do risotto in the Thermomix, but they are so good and so fast. But you can get new flavor ideas from cookie dough as well if you get bored of the same old risotto recipe. But what I want to show you is tags. So if you see one like lunch, dinner, easy, quick, so if you go into one of those tags, you can see other recipes that have been tagged with the same tag. So it's just handy to do. And once you've found recipes that you're wanting to work with, you can organize them. So let's say we want these veggies. You can say you want to cook it today, bookmark it, add to a collection, or add to a week. Now, collections are your own folders that you create. So you can see I've got a whole heap of folders. You might have one for midweek dinners or whatever. But what I want to show you is the meal plan so that you can, if you're organized, everything is quick. So this is the pasta I mentioned. I'll just type it in here to show you because I think I said the name wrong. Yeah, this one is another favorite of ours. So let's say we want to cook that Thursday, and another super quick one we like is, see if I've named it right. This spiced Moroccan lentil soup, literally with things from your pantry, because you can use tinned tomatoes, dry lentils, and a whole heap of spices. So let's say I want to cook that Friday. Yeah, so just find all your quick recipes and put them in your meal plan. The other thing you can do is add each of your recipes to your shopping list. And then you know how organized you're going to be. You've got all the ingredients for all your recipes that you're making for the week. Everything's in the meal plan. You're going to get to the kitchen and your ingredients are going to be there. And if you don't even want to be the one shopping, you can press this order ingredients button. It takes you straight through to Woolies online and let them do the shopping for you. And it's slow while I'm on Zoom. So yeah, and if you don't like the brand they've given you, you can always change it for a different brand by pressing swap. So if you want to choose whatever, there's reasons why you'd choose different brands. And yeah, just add to cart when you're ready. So makes your life so much easier, quicker, saving time by being organized and letting, you know, someone else do a bit of the work for you. If you are the one doing the shopping, when you get there, you can have the app on your phone, and as you put it in the trolley, just tick it off with your finger. It's just to make sure you're going down the aisles in an efficient manner. So it puts all your dairy together for the week, all your spices together, all your veggies, everything. So it just makes life simple, which is great, which is what we want with the Thermomix. So another thing I wanted to show you is there is, what's it called? Collection called Meals in a Flash. So you may want to even start there and find some quick recipes. Like I think this is the Speedy Beans on toast that Linda's making right now. It's got some other really good quick recipes like that sweet and sour pork's fast, beef burgundy, yeah, meatballs, like all these great dishes. We love the sticky sesame chicken. The quick fix noodles are really popular. Yeah, just branch out, find the recipes that are tagged as quick, and you know, it'll just make life more interesting for you when you're in a hurry instead of making the same old quick recipe that you're used to making. So yeah, by just letting Cookie work for you. If you aren't on Cookie you can get a free 30-day trial to check it out. But there are also a whole heap of recipes on Recipe Community, or if you Google Thermomix quick recipes, Google will work for you as well. I love Cookie That's mainly all I use, but there are other options out there. But if you are wanting a free Cookie subscription that goes for 12 months, valued at $69, you can host a cooking experience and gather a couple of friends. It can be either online, similar to what we're doing tonight, or it can be in person where you are hands-on and eating the food. And the Cookie subscription is one of our host rewards at the moment. So chat to your consultant about that and see if that's something you want to get set up. Yeah, have I talked too long, Linda? I probably have. I should have set myself a timer. Sorry.
No, it was all good. My beans are sitting here, so they're now ready. You can see them. I'm just going to pour them into a dish because everyone's already had dinner. Now, for those that still sometimes buy those baked beans, you cannot compare these baked beans to those baked beans. What I like to do also is, let me just get this out of the way, drizzle it with a bit of truffle oil just to jazz it up, and some cracked pepper, and then you've got some speedy baked beans. Super, super tasty, super, super easy.
Amazing. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, that's the ultimate quick dish, isn't it? And you can go be doing whatever else you want in the house while that's going. So awesome. Okay, so there's one more dish I wanted to show you tonight, which is beef. It's an Asian style sort of beef noodles, which I can't pronounce the name of it, so don't um, mock me when you hear me say what this is called. But yeah, I'll just show you this one now. Hello, I wanted to show you this super quick sort of meals in a flash dinner that I think is really yummy and great as well. It's called I probably can't pronounce it properly, but New Rao Mian. Anyway, we call it beef noodles, but it's a great recipe on Cookidoo. So I'll just get started. So when you're in a recipe, if you scroll down, you can see the info on the ingredients and the steps, nutrition guide and everything. But I'm ready, so I'm just going to press start. And it's asking me to put a bowl on top. So sometimes you can put a bowl on top of your Thermomix, turn the scales on and weigh things into a bowl so that you're pre-prepared. So this is one because we're going to be marinating the beef, which I've already chopped into pretty thin slices. So that should all be there. And the scales had come up, and so I can see we wanted 300 grams of thinly sliced beef fillet. I cut a bit of fat off, so I'm at 293, and that's totally okay. So now we're going to add, there's two different soy sauces we want. So we want dark soy sauce and light soy sauce, so a teaspoon of each. There is a difference in flavor between the two. If you've only got one kind of soy sauce, that's okay. Your noodles are still going to be great. But if you want to be authentic and do a lot of Asian cooking, it is a good idea to get both kinds. Sorry, I was just reading the recipe properly. I actually want a tablespoon of the light, and it was only a teaspoon of the dark. So I'll add some more because 4 teaspoons is a tablespoon in Australia. Yeah, so, and we also want a teaspoon of sugar. So yeah, it is a good idea to have both soy sauces, but not the end of the world. And then if you need a gluten-free or sort of more additive-free soy sauce, tamari is a really good one to get. And now we're going to add half a teaspoon of the white pepper. So I get my rose gold measure spoons here. I want to, because I'm reading backwards, I want to make sure I do this properly. And white pepper also has a different flavor to black pepper, but again, if it's all you've got, but black pepper is stronger, so see how you go with that. We want 2 teaspoons of sesame oil. I love sesame oil, but it is very strong, so don't do more than what the recipe says. And we want 2 teaspoons of corn flour. Yeah, I thought that's all we needed. So, and you can use a different thickener if you don't have corn flour, like you could use tapioca or potato starch or whatever, but something that's a nice starchy flour. Okay, so that's everything for our marinade, and we're going to stir to combine and set aside to marinate for 15 minutes. So just give this a little stir. And so because it's only 15 minutes, I'm not going to bother putting it in the fridge. Beef is actually good cooked at room temperature. But if you're going to be marinating it for a really long time, obviously you need it in the fridge for food safety. So see how you go with that. And so that's our quickly stirred marinade there. I'll just set aside. And in that time as well, what I'm going to do is boil the kettle. But I use another Thermomix on kettle mode, so I'll turn that on. So because we want to cook the noodles and we need boiling water for that. So yeah, I'll come back when we're ready for the next step. Okay, so I have put my rice noodles, and you can see them, they're just plain flat wide rice noodles in my oval server because that's where I'm going to cook my noodles. This is my favorite place to cook noodles, things like that. The oval server is a really good shape. It's 2.5 liters. And for those who don't know about our thermal serving bowls, they are double insulated stainless steel and they keep your food hot or cold for a few hours. So these are amazing to have. If you don't have one, talk to your consultant about how you can get them, because they're awesome to have and they come in a few different shapes and sizes. Just make sure it's all submerged there. Cool. So that is just going to sit aside to cook while we carry on with the recipe so that it can all be happening at the same time. I've got too much stuff on my bench. Put that over there. Okay, and we carry on. So, yeah. So now I'm a little bit of a cheat in the kitchen. If you've seen some of my videos before, this recipe asks us to have onion and ginger cut in thin slices before we carry on. I'm not about it. I am going to chop my ginger in the Thermomix for a few seconds. I'm not about doing it by hand. So to do that, I go out of it by pressing home and come to my speed circle, and I'm going to turn up to speed 6 or 7. Cool. And then I'll add my onion and let the Thermomix chop that, and then I'll carry on. So if you want it to look perfect, sure, you could slice your onion by hand, but I don't care about that. So, oops, I accidentally pressed the reverse button. So I'm just going to up to speed 6 for the onion. Just for like 1.5 seconds and have a look. I need a new spatula because my other one has beef on it. So you can see there my onion. If I just show you, it's finely chopped instead of thinly sliced. And that is good for me. And because I've just done it really quickly, hopefully you can see there the juices of the onion have not come out because I did it so fast. Well, you can't really see what I mean, but I haven't stewed it. Like, it's not minced. Stewing was the wrong word. I haven't minced it so that the liquid in the onion hasn't come out. So yeah, so now we'll add some oil. The recipe says to use vegetable oil. I'm just using extra virgin olive oil because that's my oil of choice. Just use whatever you like to use. We're going to add in our beef and the marinade so it can all go in. All that extra sauce will be in there. So looking good in there. And so now we cook that for, I think it's 5 minutes. This time, because we're going above 95 degrees, we're going to put our simmer basket on top. And that's cooking, 5 minutes, 120 degrees, speed soft on reverse. If I just show you, this is what we're doing. And to look ahead, because now you can use that time to get organized for the next part of the recipe. So I'll go to the recipe detail and I can see that next I am going to want to get out my spring onions, some bean sprouts, and sort of salt, chives, those types of things. Or if you wanted to quickly just look ahead, you can press the preview button and see what's happening next. So yeah, I'll let that happen while I pause the video. Okay, that is finished, so I will go to the next step. You can see, wants us to give it a bit of a stir. Oh, it smells so good. Okay. Yeah, delicious. Okay, so also just gonna make sure it's not sticking to the bottom. Okay, and we carry on. So we're adding another teaspoon of the dark soy sauce. So yeah, I hadn't put those away. And we want, I'm pretty sure, a tablespoon again of the light soy sauce. This time I'll use a proper tablespoon. And some salt. add a pinch in. And some spring onions. Now, one thing it is going to ask for is chives, and I'm not a huge chive fan, so I'm just going to skip that. And that's okay to do. You can skip whatever you don't want to use, or substitute it with something else. So yep, putting in some fresh bean sprouts. And yes, this is the chives that I'm skipping. But what I do add instead of chives is a whole heap of pak choy, whatever will fit in the bowl, because we know that will, as it cooks, it will condense down. You can see my bowl is very full right now. That's okay because it's going to condense down, and I'm sort of still within the max line. But so this only cooks for another 5 minutes. You can see how quick this dish is, and most of it is out of the kitchen. So there was cooking the noodles and the beef simultaneously. The only thing is marinating ahead of time. But I have done this before where I haven't done that. So you can just get this done in a really big hurry, this recipe. But yeah, cooking the noodles at the same time as the dish speeds it up. And so what I'll do, if these are ready, I'll strain that out into my varoma, and then put the noodles in here, back in the thermoserver, staying hot while the rest of this cooks, and it's ready to serve. Hey, just while that's happening, it's not ready yet, but I came back on because I was doing this while this is cooking, and I thought maybe this might be interesting for you. The Mix Shop, Thermomix Mix Shop website sells these amazing Vaxil containers. It's bags, this size container or a bigger one. And so with those bean sprouts that I'm not using, I thought just in the interest of low waste, I just wanted to show you that you can keep these really handily. So I'm using this Vaxil wand, and there's a little nozzle. Yeah, it just popped. So now I know it's ready and all the oxygen's out of there. The nozzle is there, and no, that way. You can see it's concave in now instead of convex. I hope I've got those terms right. So that means that's done. It only takes a few seconds to take the oxygen out of these containers. So now this will last, I don't know how long, but let's test it and see. I can get back to you. But I had half an avocado in a vac sealed bag from a class I did 2 weeks ago, that I forgot about the avocado, and it lasted 2 weeks and it was still amazing, perfect avocado. So yeah, these vac seal stuff is really good. Okay, that's finished. So that means dinner's ready. Seriously, so quick and easy, this recipe. You can see it's all there. So I'll press, see what it says, but it just says transfer into the bowl with the noodles, stir to combine and serve. So I've got my drained noodles that were just sitting in there, and that's the stir fry. You can see the pak choy condensed down a lot. So that's just my own addition. I always like to try and add veggies in wherever I can. So that's not part of the recipe, so totally optional. Just scraping out there. Some of the bean sprouts have wrapped a little bit around the blades, but so sometimes things like scraping out of the bowl can take a little bit of practice, but there we go, got it all out now. Just a little bit of maneuvering with your spatula. I really like these flex core spatulas that you can get again from the mix shop, but the spatula that comes with your Thermomix is also great. Whatever. So now I would put some water in here and come and do a pre-clean, because I love doing pre-clean, but you don't need to see me doing that. I'll just give this a bit of a stir. You don't have to, you can kind of just serve it as is, and once you're serving it out with your tongs into the bowls, it'll make sure you get some noodles and some of the stir fry mixture. But yeah, it's stirring very easily anyway. And there we have it. If I can show you there, I'll post a picture. Enjoy. So that's the dishes we wanted to show you tonight. We just wanted to show you 4 really quick dishes you can make for dinner on those nights where you're in a hurry. Some of them need more organization than others. But yeah, all really yummy flavors. And that's the other thing. Sometimes making quick dishes is easy, but having them to be healthy as well as tasting good at the same time and being within budget, it's like you're winning with all these recipes. And that's the benefit of the Thermomix to me, is that I feel like it's ticks every box with every recipe I try. So yeah, and so just a word on promotions for those who are interested. At the moment, we have our Black Thermomix limited edition available. We also have a new promo that started today featuring the oval thermo server that I just showed you in that noodle dish, as well as the glider board that you would have seen under our Thermomixes. They are coming free at the moment for anyone who buys a Thermomix, and that is amazing value. The glider board's normally $159, and the oval server is normally not even for sale because it's just one of our host rewards, but the value of that bundle is $309. We also have some great host rewards for anyone who wants to share the Thermo love. We love sharing the Thermo love out in the community, and if you can help us by referring to your friends and hosting, and you get rewarded and they get to see how good the Thermomix is. The other great offer we have at the moment, I've saved the best for last. For anyone who wants to earn a Thermomix, you can do that right now with a reduced deposit. So it's to sell 6 Thermomixes, earns you your own Thermomix. And normally you put down a deposit of $849 to get your Thermomix up front while you're selling it off. But at the moment, they've heavily reduced that down to $420. And also our business kit is half price at the moment. So even whether you've already got a Thermomix or not, like if you've already got a Thermomix, you can come on as a consultant and earn commission. If you don't have one, you can come on and earn your Thermomix. Either way, your business kit will be half price at $75. And the business kit is awesome. It's got so many goodies in it. It's got the round server, the carry bag, thermomat, your apron, all the things you need. So if you're interested in just getting the info about what's involved with being a consultant, reach out to your consultant. If you don't have a consultant, let me know and I can match you up with one. But just get the info. It's so good. I've been a consultant for 14 years. Linda's been around a long time as well. It's flexible hours. It's fun. We're sharing how great the Thermomix is with the community. So if you're interested, just find the info and you can decide whether it will be for you or not. So what I'd just love to do quickly is just see if any of you have any interest in purchasing a Thermomix, if you can answer the poll, because these answers will help me get you the information you need. So that's on the screen. So I think most of you who are joining tonight already have a Thermomix, which is really cool because you're joining to get tips, and hopefully you're loving your Thermomix. So I'll just end that one. And the other one is, if you're interested in sharing the Thermomix with a few friends, to host you only need 2 friends, and get to choose the menu, and we'll have fun. Everyone gets to eat and be hands-on. So then let us know if you're interested in that, and I can get you host reward info and all that. Yeah, so you might need more info, whatever. If I'm going too fast, you can always reach out tomorrow or anytime. As I said, I am going to be emailing you all the info, so you'll have my details. And the last one I'm launching is just to see if anyone wants the info on becoming a consultant. We have information sessions. There's one tomorrow at 4 o'clock. If you want to join, it just goes for half an hour. You can join and just see what's involved. Yeah. So thanks for answering those questions. I feel like I've hopefully covered everything, and we've tried to be quick tonight. But what I'll do now is end the recording. Where is it?